Good morning. Welcome to the Artistic Artifacts Facebook Live. Today is December 6th. My name is Andy Martin. Am I on? Am I on?
Hang on. Wow, we were so good too. Try it again.
Morning.
Try again.
Try again?
There it is.
Okay.
Wow, sorry.
Good morning. Welcome to the Facebook Live here at Artistic Artifacts. It's December 6th. I'm Andy Martin. We're really glad to have you joining us this morning. Please leave us a comment to say hi and tell us where you're from. We love to hear and read all the comments from and see where folks are how far the community is reaching. Before we start on our little demonstration today, I have a couple announcements. First of all, our stocking fundraiser is continuing. We've got one more week left. All of the proceeds from our stocking sales go to so others can eat. This is a local charity that supports and is dealing with food insecurity issues here in the Washington D.C. area. So we appreciate your participation in that. We've also got we've sent out the save the date for our 2026 Creative Summit. That's going to be April in April. So make sure that you are signed up for the newsletter so that you'll get all the details on the Creative Summit as it's coming up. And you can also find out information about the Creative Summit on our website, ArtisticArtifacts.com. One of the most exciting things that we've got coming up for 2026 is we've got a couple block of the month programs, and one of them you can see behind me. This is our Rambler quilt. This is a sampler quilt that we've already got finished and we've got quilted. This was pieced by Martha, and with Martha, Carl, and Mary Ellen, they did the quilting on it, and it is really spectacular. There are so many different techniques that are that you're really going to, and this is all, if I remember correctly, this is foundation paper piecing, or at least some of it is. So again, this is going to be a great project to work through. It is a block of the month for 2026. You can check out all of the information and sign up for the block of the month on the website, again, ArtisticArtifacts.com. So,
and Mary Ellen's actually on live with us today, so thank you, Mary Ellen.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. Yes, we really appreciate your support there. And this is just a beautiful quilt, and we did a fun backing on it too, using one of our wide backs. So lots of really interesting projects that we're going to have for 2026. So let's head over to the serger. Today we're going to be making a little gift bag. This is a little drawstring bag. This is using I'm going to be using a layer cake square, and this is a finished product that we've got. But and this is you can find instructions to make this bag on the We All Sew blog under the Overlocker drawstring bag. Mary Beck actually did the instructions for this a few years ago. So the first thing that I'm doing is I've got my layer cake square, and I have pressed a 1-inch seam or a 1-inch fold to the back of the bag, and we're going to do that. I'm doing that because we're going to start with a flat lock stitch, and that's going to create this little casing for the drawstring. So coming over to the serger here. So we've got the working on the L890. I do have the 3-thread flat lock wide set up here, so that I've got my needle in the left overlock position. I'm using 2 serger cone thread in my needle and in my loopers, and I am using the blind hem presser foot here. And so this looks a little different, because you can see that we've got this little blade right here, and that blade is we're going to line up the fold on that, and that's going to help us keep that fold away from the knife, but it's still going to allow us to trim off the excess. So again, I'm taking that layer cake square, and now I'm going to fold and create a little S. So I've got the fold like that. I'm going to put that underneath the presser foot, and I'm placing that fold right up against the blade, and then my pinked edge is going to go under the blade, and that is going to get trimmed off with the knife. I have increased my stitch length a little bit here to 3.0, but otherwise I've got my settings are all the same for flat lock. And when I do use this presser foot, I do find that I have to when we first start, just make sure that edge rolls under. And just gently glide the fabric down. And again, this is going to create the casing. The casing for the drawstring. And then from here, and the magic about flat lock is then I'm going to open it up, and you can see the ladders. And so that's my needle thread that's now going to be visible. So that makes a really nice, a really elegant way to do the channel for the case, or for the drawstring. And then on the back, the edges are encased. Now I'm going to switch over to a 3-thread overlock, again wide, and and with one of the nice things, and we've talked about this with the L890, is that it's got this guided mode, so it's going to tell me how to set up for the for the stitch. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the presser foot to from the blind hem stitch foot to my regular foot, the C11 foot. And whereas a lot of sergers, and one of the number one concerns that people have when they use their serger is that they that they're going to forget, or that they don't, it's difficult to thread or everything. So but in this case, we're just going to walk through all of the steps here, because everything is already in place. And the nice thing too about the with the L890, if we run into any challenges, we can there are videos on board. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that that layer cake square in half, and I'm going to run an overlock on the bottom and on the left hand side here, and I'm just going to line up my the pinked edge with that first notch, or that first mark. That I've got my presser foot set to, or my cutting width set to 6, and that's going to line up right there. And I'm not going to worry about trying to get that. So then let me just lift up here, sew on that right edge now, that long edge. So the one thing I am going to make sure is try to make sure that that my ladders here are lined up, so that I've got a when it finishes, it's going to look nice. So there we've got our bag made up pretty quickly. Now I'm gonna box the corners. So let's go over to the table for just a second, Kyle. So just to box the corners, I'm going to put the bag on the table. You press that, you'll get that the seam so that it's at a corner like this. And then I'm going to take a small ruler, and I'm just going to line up so that I can box the corner. And I'm just making sure that this is I'm lined up here with the seam, and I'm trying to line up the seam with the bottom seam so that I've got a good 90 degree. And then I'm going to go for just about 1.5 inch or so box. So I'm just lining up the 1 inch on the edge here to go. I'm going to just take this back. We'll go back, and with the serger, we're going to trim trim and stitch to seal off the corners here right away. And there we've boxed our first side. Now we'll do the same thing on the other corner. And the great thing about these bags is that you can really adjust this. You can do it to whatever size you really want to do. Just gonna kind of eyeball it. And then we've got the second corner boxed. Now we'll go back over to the table. So I can take my needle with a fairly large eye. This is an upholstery needle, and if you, depending on your level of how you want the inside of the bag to look, you can trim off the tails, and then you can take the feed the serger, the tail into your needle, and see if it's going to cooperate. And then you can run your to bury your threads right there into the seam, and then you can trim. So again, and there are there's also a tool called the little hooky that I like that can do this as well. So, but you can clean up your threads. You can clean up the top as well here. Do we have any questions about anything, Kyle?
Not so far.
Okay. So this is the great thing too about this project. Again, I'm using a layer cake square today, but you could really use any you could use yardage. For one bag that I made, I stitched together some layer cake squares so that it was the right the size that I needed. So now I'm going to turn out the bag. And now there's our bag is just about complete. Now I'm going to take some ribbon, and in this case I've got a 1/4 inch ribbon, but I've used with these other bags I used 1/8 inch. Kind of depends on what you've got in your stash. And I'm going to just run the ribbon in underneath those needle that needle thread that that flat lock stitch that we did. And this will might be too big. There we go. All right, and then just keep running that that ribbon underneath those ladders, those needle threads. All right, and you can see how that's going to look. And then I would run it all the way around, and then I would run a second ribbon all the way around on the opposite side, so that I've got two drawstring pulls. Tie those off, and then there we have the bag. And like I say, you could certainly use any of the yardage we've got. I pulled a few. If you wanted something that was more spring colors, we've got some of the holly jolly. Some great colors here. I can that would be that stripe would be amazing. So really, you can use what yardage that you've got. This would be a great stash buster if you've got a leftover jelly roll or I'm sorry, jelly roll or layer cake squares from a project that because a lot of quilts you only need 18, 16, 18 of your jelly roll, of your stack of jelly roll or of layer cakes. And again, this one I sewed together some jelly roll strips to make that. So this is a great little project, quick and easy. And it makes a great little gift bag for here as we get ready for the holidays. If you need something to jazz up your holiday decor, please remember to check out the website ArtisticArtifacts.com. We appreciate any participation with our holiday fundraiser. That's where you can buy one of the stockings that the staff have made, and again we support so others can eat, which is a local food charity, supporting food insecurity. So what other questions do people have, Kyle? Well,
Kind of a quiet morning.
Quiet morning. Well, we appreciate you joining us today for our Facebook Live. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe, and make sure to hit that bell icon so that you're notified when new videos get posted. And again, we've got the dates for the 2026 Creative Summit posted. So if so stick around, or make sure that you're signed up for the newsletter so that you get all the information for the Creative Summit, because we're going to have some great instructors. So always the highlight of our year here at Artistic Artifacts. So we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.